Hello, my name is Robert Corlin, and I'm with Robert Corlin's Computer Upgrades. Today I'm going to take you through some steps on upgrading or creating a file server or a backup server. I've already undone the top, and I know you guys can't see this from this camera, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my phone. One of the great things about video editing is I should be able to combine them. Alright, so I'm going to put this KVM down, and I'm going to get a close view of what we currently are looking at. So in this case we have two processors, fans, hard drive bays, RAID controllers, right? And then I also have a USB card in there. Now, as you can see, we've got 4 bays across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bays down, which is a total of 24 bays. Now, usually the first thing you want to do is you want to unplug it, and these have dual redundant power supplies. I'm going to unplug them so that we have something to work with. And I will be right back, and I'll get the equipment. Alright, so I have returned, and I have the box. You can see that. This is kind of RAID controller I purchased to go into this file server. I've already unboxed it. And I'll probably fast forward all this so you don't have to deal with it. I'll take a drink of my coffee. And so we will begin. Had to switch cameras because the other one just took a crap. Lovely technology, I can tell you that. So, although I missed some video, it's not really... I was going to speed past it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've already done to this server so that you can get a general idea what's going on. Okay, so I've already changed out the old SATA cables, and I've installed the LSI MegaRAID SAS 9305 24i, and just to show you, everything's looking good. I'll throw on some light. There's the card. We've got 6 slots, 2 up there and 4 out there. They're all connected here. There's your one CPU that's a dual core. There's another CPU that's a dual core. And currently, we've got Windows, setting Windows up. So we're going to go ahead and start setting Windows up. Alright, so we put in the Windows key, and now we are installing Windows. Now this is going to take a while because it's running off that little USB thing. So as soon as it comes up, we'll go ahead and start back the video again. Alright, let's see if it installed. Okay, so now that we've got our administration we know that it worked. Alright, there we go for that. We're ready to sign in. Alright, so now we've got Windows loaded. Let's look at our device manager, shall we, and see what is not installed. Alright, so our SAS controller is not installed. Using a basic display. Not big of an issue. Go ahead and load this driver. So as I was playing around with the drives, I noticed that some of these drives were offline. It's already picked up the existing information, configuration for the RAID controllers prior. I was really surprised about that because it was a Microsoft RAID 5. So I'm really surprised that it picked it right up. And it's now resyncing my old information. And I was like, well, let me see if I can actually get to that old information. So sure enough, there it is. And I thought that was just fantastic. So very, very cool. I'm quite impressed with that. It's currently syncing. I'm actually going to end it because I don't need to keep going. But very, very cool. There's some Comic-Con pictures, and they come right up, right? No problems. So I was rather impressed. Very cool. All right. Well, I'm going to end up deleting all of these anyway, and we're all going to make them like this. To where they're unallocated, and then I'm going to show you guys installing drive pools, and I'm going to remove this RAID. I will be back in a few minutes. Alright, so I have removed all these drives and stopped the sync, and so now you can see all these 2 terabyte drives that are available. So you're going to leave them available. I'm going to exit out of this stuff. Now we're going to go to File and Storage. Go Drive Pools. And you're going to look at your primordial. And this is your staging point where all your drive pools are going to be. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terabyte drives. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a drive pool. So we'll just start the wizard. Hit next. Create a new drive pool. And we're going to call this DP1. And I'm going to show you how easy this is. So I'm only going to put in 2 right now. Okay? So that's 3 terabytes. So we're in there. We're going to create. It's going to create it. Okay. So this is your staging point for the first drive pool. So here's your drives, and now we're going to create a new virtual disk. We're going to say it's going to come out of the main drive pool. We're going to name this say we're if you're creating a Hyper-V server or a VM server, I would personally put in at least 3 different types. And this way, you kind of keep things organized. But you don't have to. You can create your drives any way your heart's content. So I'm just going to use this as a data drive, and that's all this is. It's going to be a complete file server or a backup server. So we're going to call this file. We're going to hit next, and here you've got the difference between, you got your simple, which tells you data is striped across the physical disks, maximizing capacity. Well, you know how to flip and read. You've got mirror, and then you've got parity. So this one is equivalent to striping. This is remirroring and parity. So data is parity, stripe across physical disk, blah 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 blah. It reduces the capacity, but you are able to have some disks. Alright, so this one requires at least 3 disks to protect you from a single disk failure. We don't have a 3rd disk. So we're going to cancel this. I mean 64 terabytes. There's your capacity, 64 terabytes. Let's look at the virtual drive. You see it says 63 terabytes. Alright, so you got 64 terabytes worth of space. And when you go up to your drive pools and stuff, you're going to see how much usage, how much is being used out of that. And so as you can see, nothing's really being used at all. So now we want to go ahead and we want, say we're maxing out, we're getting really close. So we're going to right click, and you see we could actually extend this if we need to. Now that we're past that 64 terabyte issue, we need to add some physical disks. So I'm just going to add the rest of them. Okay. Now that they're added, and they don't have to be the same, by the way, they can be different. I want to, we got 64, we got 2. We want to add that. So, believe it or not, that's all we have to do. When you look there, as you can see, you've got 12.7 terabytes of free space and 5 gig used. So it's really simple to add drives to this. It makes it really easy to set your stuff to set your stuff up. So this is pretty much it. There's your allocation, how much. There's 12 terabytes there. There's free terabytes there. You've got redundancy. Alright, so we pulled that drive out, and as you can see we have a warning. L status, lost communication. That back on there. Alright, and now we're back up and running again. And those are drive pools. If you want to remove a drive pool, you just right click and remove disk. And it will say it'll attempt to rebuild any virtual disks that store data on this physical. For this to succeed, the drive must have a significant number of physical disks to have enough space to store the data. So in other words, you don't want, if you have a full disk, you need to have at least the same amount of space. So you want to have at least 2 terabytes of free space if you have a full 2 terabytes that you're going to kill. So I was happening to rummage, and I found me a 1 terabyte drive that I have not used. It's one of my spares. So I'm going to slap that in there and show you what it looks like. So I went ahead and I just installed it. So they're blinking. As you can see, it just loaded. And we're going to go X out of here and X out of here. And then we're going to go to here. Not there. Here. And we're going to refresh that bad boy. Got an unknown offline drive. Now we got our primordial, right? We're going to add this to this storage pool. Add a physical disk. We're going to add that physical disk. We're going to hit OK. Okay. Now we just added that. That's a 931 gig drive. So as you can see, we've got 64 terabytes still showing. Percentage used. So now it's at 15.5 terabytes. So that's the end of this tutorial on is a very awesome thing. It really allows you to move forward. You know, when you're running out of disk space, you just add more disks, and then you move on. I mean, it's pretty simple. You just add the physical disks, and now you've got your space. So. And this really, the cost is so beneficial because it's really not that expensive. I'm actually going to sell this piece right here. It's going to be on sale for somebody whoever wants it, since I've already moved it, all my files over. Although it will not come with an operating system, it will come with the hard drives. It will come with the solid state drive that's in it, that little 250 gig drive. It comes with the memory. And you can see how much memory it has here. So it's got 12 gigs of RAM, and they're dual core AMD 2 gigahertz. So that's four total cores, 2 processors of 2.0 or 2 gigahertz apiece. So definitely a very good deal. So if you're interested, definitely hit me up. Again, this is Drive Pools, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Thank you.